Hey, you guys, welcome to Get the 411 on the 321. We have a great show for you tonight. I realize the glare is all over my glasses, so I may have to take those off soon. But this is Jamie Porter, and I am super excited about our guest tonight. Really excited. Can't wait to teach you guys all about this. I can't wait to learn about it. You might already know about it, but he is going to be speaking to you very, very shortly. But before we get started, Amy and Jerry, what you guys do? Anything fun, special, great? Trauma going on in the country everywhere?
I'll start with something good. We watched the most incredible launch since the last time we talked. Went back to space with astronauts from our own land, so it was amazing.
That was good, and unfortunately, it was overshadowed by a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, and every single causeway. Do you know I was on the causeway driving with my son? I, for some reason, thought it was going to be the same time as the couple days before, and so I thought it was going to get 4:30, and we were driving over our Pineda Causeway, and there's tons of people parked along the causeways, and I saw people getting out with their cameras at like 3:10, and I'm like, why are they? I said, you know what? We need to check on that. It must be soon, because who in the world would walk out with their camera? You know what I mean? Like an hour and a half before. Anyway, so we just pulled over. We put it on my phone, watched it live there, and then was hoping to see it with the clouds. But it's just so awesome. It really is. It's like the Super Bowl. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're missing somebody tonight.
Mr. Eric.
Mm-hmm.
It's his birthday. So
it's his birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Eric.
He'll watch this later. So
he's getting
watch it later. Yeah.
Moving on up in the years.
Oh man.
Anyway, well, Jerry, do you want to share? Because our guest is so good, he could probably talk for 3 hours, and we would all be like, just do it. So why don't you go ahead and introduce him? And
I'm humbled to introduce George Taylor Jr. I've done a little bit with their organization, just been lucky to volunteer some of my time and efforts, but nothing on the scale of what they do in Brevard County. And really, I'd just like to start with saying thank you for everything that you've done. I want you to open up and just kind of tell us the background of the National Veterans Homeless Support Organization and how it was started, and then we'll go from there. George.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me on your program tonight. So we were founded in 2008 in Titusville. At the time, my father, George Taylor Sr., he had been going out with a group of buddies of his, DAV 109 up in Titusville, Disabled American Veterans. And they would go out on weekends and essentially just help the homeless veterans that were living there. At the time, we had about 1,800 homeless veterans in Brevard County. So they would go out and just feed them, and then their main goal was just trying to get them into housing, get them into the VA system. That's why they were taking them over to the DAV. And at the time, the local office had a hard time deciding on what exactly to do with all these homeless people, because it was right in the middle of the Great Recession and all that stuff was going on. So him and his friend's idea was, hey, we'll start an organization, and then we'll go buy a piece of land, and then all the homeless guys can go live there, and nobody will bother them. And obviously, so that for like the first year or so, that's pretty much what we were focused on. We're trying to get that. Not a lot of people want, got that NIMBY problem, not in my backyard. So, and you have to fund it. It's hard. Nobody wants to fund it. No grant tendency. And so finally looked at what we were doing and decided, hey, actually what's unique about what we do is that we go out into the woods, interact directly with the veterans, and get them plugged into housing through our. So at that point is when really 2009 is actually when we actually pivoted and our mission to eliminate homelessness among veterans in Central Florida, and we've been working at it ever since. So in 2008 we were 1,800 homeless veterans in Brevard County, and at 2018 there's 169. So that's a 91%. We're very proud of it.
I couldn't believe that when I read that 90. I had read 90 or 91%, just to reduce the homelessness in a county like that. It's just unbelievable. How did you, what are the ongoing things that are happening, and
So really,
go ahead.
Oh, so really the main thing is for us, there's lots of housing agencies. That's kind of like our main, there's lots of housing agencies that we partner with, like the Volunteers of America and Housing for Homeless, sharing centers of Brevard. And so there's housing, and then we have housing on our own. We have 4 transitional facilities. So the problem is that, a lot of them don't have outreach. So for us, we want to just to go locate the veterans, mediate their immediate needs, like provide them tent, hygiene kits, food. But our main goal is to get them into the VA for healthcare and VA benefits, and then at the same time housing. And so that's pretty much been our goal. That's our primary activity. Like I said, we have our housing. We can house 17 homeless vets at the same time. But the outreach program is really what makes us unique. And then, so from there, to get the numbers down from where they were, obviously the economic climate of the county improved greatly, so that helped. The other thing is we're a very small agency. We got a big name, but we're really small agency overall. So the way we're able to do this is really by partnerships. We couldn't go away budget-wise. We could have the houses, provide all the case management for everybody in the county. So our thing is we find them and then we plug them into the other agencies, first come, first serve, that can help them get into a better place. And so the other thing is kind of like the institutional homelessness. So you get a lot of people, homeless people get in trouble a lot for like trespassing or loitering, things like that, because they're on public property. So what happens is they end up in a loop where, they don't have any money. They're homeless to begin with. They get arrested for this. They don't pay their fines. They don't have any money. They get a failure to appear because they didn't go to court on time, and then they lose their license. And it's just this nonstop loop that happens. So partnership with government agencies is extremely important. And we're very fortunate to have support of like the Sheriff Ivey, the state attorney, Phil Archer, pretty much every government agency in Brevard County to try to help break that loop up. Several judges, we have judges on our board, so we have people that can help them address that legal issue to break that loop. So it's really a partnership with everybody.
Yeah,
all different agencies, public and private.
I can imagine they'd be pretty encouraged to support you if you've reduced it by 90% in the county. So.
It definitely supported my father big time. That he was he just recently passed away a couple weeks ago, and so he was our founder of our organization. Just last week I was voted the president and CEO of the organization, so I can carry that on. And but he just was a force to be reckoned with. So he hired these people, and really in the beginning, it all started out with we'd take government. Local senators, local politicians, and they'd come up and say, "Oh, are you sure we have homeless veterans in my county?" I don't believe that. He's like, "Yeah, come on, I'll take you out there." And he'd take them directly to the camps. And I'll tell you, usually all it takes, you take somebody like that that can wield some influence directly into the woods and show them that people are living homeless in camps, and that changed their life forever. So that really, like Dana Wickley, the county property appraiser, she's on our board, and she's been with us since just the very, very beginning. And that's pretty much how it was for her. We took her out into the woods and changed her life. She's been helping us ever
since. And these people just supporting you in name. I see there like on Thanksgiving Day, cooking meals and filling boxes and everything. It's just really impressive. Tell us a little bit about, I know you have a lot of different things going on, but talk a little bit about the Thanksgiving. Cause that's really, let me tell you, I love Thanksgiving dinner. You could see, I like some turkey and I like some stuffing, but giving up my Thanksgiving Day to serve with you guys has become my favorite thing of the year. So tell a little bit about what you guys do, because it's just amazing and how many people that day you feed.
Well, so to me, it was amazing how that kind of grew. Originally, the house that we conducted at is one of our transitional houses in Titusville, and we originally were that house was during the housing market was terrible at the time. So this doctor had this house just sitting on ice doing nothing. Hey, why don't you guys put some homeless guys in there? You can use it, but until so eventually we ended up getting grants and we ended up buying them. But for years, he just gave it to us for free rent, and we were housing people in there. And so it had it's a good open floor plan and stuff. So in the beginning, it was just kind of like hey, I think we should do a Thanksgiving thing, and we had partnered with the local community organizations right around that house in off Gilbert Street and Daly in Titusville, and then they would package the meals, and we just started handing them out, and it just kept growing and growing every year. So now it's about 300 or 400 hot meals, and we have just as many volunteers there, all in line holding one of the containers, and then they all drive them out like you guys participated in that last year. That's really like a brainchild of one of our board members, Elizabeth Harris. That's kind of been her baby, and then there's several others, Christine Tate, there's some good people that's their baby every year. That's what we're focused on. So now it's just huge, 100 turkeys and just crazy stuff.
Yeah, it opened my eyes completely the very first year that I participated. They packed up a whole bunch of meals in my car and said, okay, let's go to this gas station. You'll see a trail. Just go down the trail. I'm thinking, come on, really? And it was just, but it opened my eyes to how many now I see those trails everywhere. I see the homeless out there, and I know what they're living in. I know how they're living, and it's just so. How do we as a community continue supporting you, like on a day-to-day basis? I think you said there's a way to go look and actually sign up to volunteer and such, or.
Yeah, so we post all our opportunity. Volunteermatch.org is a pretty big volunteer application. You can go online. So we post all our opportunities on that, but you can access it through our website. So if you go to NVHS, National Veterans Homeless Support, so NVHS.org, it's on the bottom of the screen right there. Thank you. / get involved. You click that. We post all our opportunities, and so right now we have active opportunities for outreach to actually go out and interact with the homeless. And so the other thing is we try to tell people is that there's more to deal with the outreach part than just doing the direct in the woods. A lot of people don't feel comfortable or they're not physically able to do that, but there's definitely since we dropped the numbers so drastically over the years. Big focus now is on prevention. So in Brevard County, for instance, there's about 4,400 veterans that live below poverty, according to the U.S. Census. And so there's just an endless need for financial assistance they need to make things. So for the most part, we try to get them plugged in with agencies that have grants for that, either through the VA or whoever, to get their need addressed. But whenever there's times where there's no way that the grant money will arrive in time to save their homes, we provide the funding directly to them. So that's a good partnership. We have several agencies throughout Brevard. We try to leverage their grant funding first, and then we use our donations. And so people can help with outreach, not just us. That's pretty much the main thing. We need people to kind of call these guys up when they reach out to us and vet them. That can be done, virtually. And then there's also the people that actually go out into the woods and find and assist homeless people.
Jamie, go ahead.
I was just going to add, I have to say too, last year was my first year. I'm hoping to repeat it every year for the Thanksgiving. And I took my kids with me, and they now identify as we drive up and down streets. Look, Mom, do you see that trail? I bet there's a community back there. So just the fact that it opened their eyes even that much to what's actually around you, instead of it's a home next to you. What doesn't look like a home is clearly a home to many. So it was an eye opener for all of us.
Yeah, no, every time somebody sees that, I mean, one time you walk in and you see, 30, regardless. So for us, we help. Our main focus obviously is homeless veterans, and there's some items that we receive, like specific kinds of like military type equipment that we receive that has to go to a veteran. But we have such an abundance of food donations and hygiene, and we have just storage units full of hygiene. So as we're out in the woods helping these guys and girls, we're not just saying, oh, you're a veteran, so I know you're hungry, but tough luck.
Right.
Help everybody, because by talking to all those people, just for it's just a nice thing to do. And then as you're talking, then they tell you, hey, you know what, Jim over there, he's a homeless veteran. You might want to go talk to him. So, that's all part of the networking. That's really like our main like a core competency of us is that we directly interact with the homeless, and then you have to build rapport with them because you have different kinds of homeless. You have your short-term homeless that are they've only been out there for a few months, so not very versed on where they can get food. They're not very versed, and they don't want to be there. They're there, unfortunately, and they don't want to be there. We can get them housed within a week in some agency. We're very fast with that. It's the ones that have been out there, the chronic, that have been out there for 10, 20, 30 years that are difficult, and it's not impossible. We've done them this multiple times, but essentially it's about building a rapport and relationship with them. Just like anything, just network with them and talk to them, know what motivates them, and just, hey, if you ever want to move into your own place, let me know. So.
Yeah, it has to be a year-round effort. I'll tell you, one of the other things that really strikes me on a daily basis sometimes after doing that Thanksgiving and then noticing all the trails and noticing the homeless camps and everything is, when I'm complaining about or thinking about a storm coming or all the rain that we've had lately and how, oh man, it's miserable. I have to walk out to my car through this little puddle and everything, and I just think about those conditions out there. So, the fact that it's just not it's an ongoing thing for you guys, it's just incredible. So.
It's not. You're playing whack-a-mole, you got to be there. So even though I guess that's the biggest thing. We started out, we'd go into these camps, and there'd be 200 tents in there, half of them veterans or whatever. And now you just don't find camps that large anymore. These hundreds and hundreds of tents, but you still have to go in there, and there's 10, 20 in there. So the main thing is that right now the economy overall has been really good for the last 10, 12 years we've been together, been around. So, of course, while the economy is good, homelessness decreases overall. But for us, we want to make sure that we're still there for the people that become homeless during that time, and then always keep our eyes open for any shifts in the economy that could possibly happen with this COVID-19 situation we're in right now.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So that's awesome. And I know that you guys do things to them all year long or reach them out for whatever. My question is, what are some other, do you have any other big things like the Thanksgiving food roundup thing? Do you have anything else that people could know about that you need extra hands for?
Yeah, so we have two major events throughout the year. One's the Thanksgiving, and then the other one is our Warm, Full, Safe event. We do it during Christmas time. So every year for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we bring homeless veterans in the hotels and their families in the hotels in Brevard County. We're doing this, I think this is our 10th year we'll be doing it. And so that event needs volunteers and food. And for the most part, it's such a well-established event that people just, you get way more food and way more people that want to help than we can actually find a place for. But again, as our homeless veteran population started decreasing, we started doing financial assistance. So that's when pretty much the whole month of December, we're just everybody put out an ad on the radio, and you say, hey, if you need help, call us, and the phones just explode with veterans and families that are need money or whatever the case is, and we just pay it out through that whole time. So Warm, Full, Safe is a big one for us. We bring them into the hotels, we give them gifts of 3 warm meals a day. A bunch of people there just to support them, and they have a good time, and just kind of let them get cleaned up. And some of the guys like to just be by themselves, and we'll take the food to their room, and they don't want to be. They just want to watch TV, lay on the bed and watch TV.
That's not a bad thing.
You said hotels.
Yeah, we usually do that.
Hotels to participate.
Yep. So we usually post that the volunteer needs and any supply needs we need on our website on the events page, and then we also do it on our Facebook page, the Veteran Support, facebook.com/veteran support. It's on the bottom of the screen.
I have another question. So and I don't know a lot about homelessness. I know there's a lot of homeless people in our county, not just veterans, but a lot. But so if this is a stupid question, I apologize. But I always think if I think it, somebody else might be thinking it as well or wondering. So you had said that there's some that really don't want to transition into a house, that they've been out there for 20 years, 30 years, and they just kind of, that's just maybe it's not, maybe it's a trust thing yet or whatever, but for whatever reason, they don't want to move in to a home, and you're always there ready to help when and if they do. Are there more of those types of people? And do those types of people, are they single or do they have families? I'm just curious on the dynamic at all.
Yeah, generally the people that are long-term homeless or generally don't have families. A lot of them, there's a lot. There's just a lot of times you go into some camps and there's a whole family. They go to school every day and their their address is stay like 20. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. So for the most part, it's about catching them in the first 6 months.
Okay.
Because once they cross that threshold, they're starting to lose hope. Right, they're starting to get used to being out there, and once you lose hope, I mean, at that point now your clothes are all messed up. You haven't showered in weeks. You're in a bad situation and money, and so it's hard to even go apply for a job. Right, you have a car, you don't have a seat, you don't have clothes to wear, so it's important. It's really important to keep a constant presence so that you can get them right off the bat in the beginning. But so what we see with a lot of in the veteran community in particular, like your Vietnam era veterans, they've been out there for so long where they just went and hid. Right, they have severe mental issues. They need help. So they've been out there just alone. Why even non-veteran homelessness? They just want to be alone. Whatever happened to them in their life, they don't want to be, post-traumatic stress, whatever the case is. They don't want to be around people. And generally, what we find is that it's when they get a medical issue. So a lot of times, unfortunately, they'll come out and go, man, something's wrong. I don't feel good. So they go to the hospital and they find out they got, heart disease or cancer or something like that. And then that's usually enough. Once if they beat that, that's usually enough to sit. They'll tell us, like, you know what, I'm not going back out there. I need a house. And that's all the long-term homeless veterans that existed for years. Generally, have been pretty much the process happens. To them medically, it scares them, and then when they come out of, they've been in the hospital for a couple of weeks or whatever the case is, they're like, I'm not going back to that. Get them into a place.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
So this is a very cool organization, and what I like about it is it's very hands-on, like get in there and fix the need in the moment instead of getting a committee together to think about what might be wrong and how you might be able to help. So my question to you is this organization, I know it says national, are there other groups just like you in other states, or is it just here?
Just here. So my father, when him and his friends, when they created it, they had dreams of this thing growing up. We're very much Brevard County, East Orange County, North Indian River County. But for the most part, we're a local. We're very much a local organization. Now, we hope, or our mission is eliminate homelessness among veterans in Central Florida. So we want to spread out to all the rest of the counties that surround us, but we're very much a local.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got such a great thing. It's a shame that other states or other areas couldn't model after you. Do you know what I mean? And
you actually have some national recognition, though. Didn't your dad receive some national recognition?
Oh, definitely. So yeah, he's received awards from the National American Legion. President Bush came down one time and met him and recognized him. And Senator Rick Scott, he's spoken at our dinner event. We have a big gala every year. We had to cancel it this year because of COVID-19, but he came down last year and spoke. He was our speaker. There's a lot of support at the national level. But it's more. That was more my father. He was doing this for 25 years, advocating for homeless veterans. So when he was, in fact, a lot of people don't know this. So in like '92, he was kind of acting a little bit crazy, right? He had severe PTSD that was left untreated as a combat veteran from Vietnam, and his brother said, "Hey man, you need some help." So they just started. He was enrolled in the first inpatient post-traumatic combat veteran, post-traumatic stress program at Miami VA, like the first one they ever had.
Wow.
And a couple of friends of his in there. The VA at the time, in the 90s, they weren't really. There was some issues there. They weren't very good at dealing with disabled people. They had lots of bathrooms, for instance, that didn't have disabled doors. They weren't ADA compliant, even though they had severely disabled people there. So him and his buddies would go around, essentially harassing the administrators and telling them, hey, you guys need to get this fixed. I'm getting the media here. And so next thing you know, they had to put, and him and his buddy Robert, they had to put a phone inside their room, their own private phone, so just so they could take calls directly for all the issues that show up, and all the veterans have been putting sticky notes on their doors and they had this problem. And that's kind of how he got to start. So so that became his voice. I gave him his purpose, and so from there, he finished the program, and that just helping veterans became his life purpose. And so through the years of advocating, not just going out into he loved going out into the woods. He hated the corporate part of this nonprofit stuff, but he loved, his favorite thing was going out into the woods and just hanging out with the guys. And then he was he just was good. He was good at talking, and he was good at showing people.
I know.
His first question was always, what are you going to do for the veterans? What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow? And he'd ask every single politician, I don't care who it was. Put him on the spot, and so over time, he built a following of veterans.
Well, I know he's made a significant impact here, and with the numbers that you guys are putting up, I can't imagine it's not going to start taking notice. At least, hopefully, it'll spread out. I read Sheriff Ivey's tribute to him after he passed, just a week ago. And he mentioned just the effortless, or the nonstop effort to get out there. And he said wading through swamps and down trails, and sounds kind of fun to me too. So that's where I liked going out into the woods. I'm going to get on there, and I'm going to see what I can do to volunteer and spread it. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know who Thomas Redman is, but below to you down at the bottom left. Thomas Francis Redman said, "Hey, George."
Oh, no, yeah, I see that. Hey, how you doing?
Melanie Walter Kaminsky said, "Hey, everyone." And she had this to say as well. I just have to say that your dad left a great legacy, though, and you too, George, for you to carry it on. I know you said you've been involved, I think, 11 years you've been working with your dad, and now you're carrying it on, and it's fantastic that I can't imagine what it must have been like to be raised by him. What an attention to giving to others. There's so many kids today that, they don't get to have that experience of the joy it is to helping other people and to give to other people, and so I just think it's awesome. I think that it's great that you're carrying on his legacy and helping that to continue and grow. And hopefully, I plan on getting involved this Thanksgiving for sure, because I've been dying to do something like that. So I was really excited to hear about it. I had just met Amy and Gary around that time last year. So I definitely plan on getting involved. And I know we posted your website here. I went ahead and added the / get involved just because I figured once they hit that, then they can go back and look at the other stuff. But I am so appreciative that you came on. I know Amy, Jerry, you guys are too. And I know that we will be sharing this video a lot. It's also on my YouTube channel as well. So it'll be easy to share out this actual video. And so anything that we can do, you certainly can come back and post here as well and share it out. So
I appreciate you guys having me.
It's a pleasure talking.
Everything that you've done for the. I'm a veteran, and it means a lot to me. My father was a veteran. My father's buried at Arlington, so I was raised in that, but also in a charitable family that taught me the power of giving, and I can't come close to how humbling it was when I met your father and found out everything that he was doing. So, and the legacy that he left. You guys are going to do great work, so I appreciate you.
Thank you.
So.
All right.
Well, and that's pretty much. Yeah. Usually we're sitting around, but that's 30 minutes. I'll share. Listen, if you don't go on their site, go to my birthday page on my Facebook page, because I shared their things too, and I'm collecting money for them on my donate. Now I'm not actually going to have a birthday this year. That's just no.
And you're older.
No, it's just skipping over that.
I'm gonna say,
but you can. You can certainly go on and donate for my non-birthday birthday. So,
Yeah. All right.
and Melanie said, thank you, George. Both of her boys are veterans, and I know they're boys too. So, yeah. All right. Well, in that 30 minutes, Jamie, you want to anything or anybody else want to share anything?
No, I mean, Amy, do you have anything you want to share?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, hard to follow that.
Yep.
So, all right.
So we're done.
Thank you, guys. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.